Oh, hello everyone. It's Crypto Granny Susie here. I hope you're all well, looking after your family and your kids and your beautiful animals. Sorry, I have been so busy this week. I must apologize for not doing a podcast this week. I did have to travel around in terms of seeing other clients. So very sorry for that. But look, there's a lot going on. I'm extremely bull cryptocurrency. So let's get into this live coin watch today. Market overview is 2.425 trill. Volume's fairly high at 71.5 bill. Liquidity is excellent at 6.37 bill. Bitcoin dominance is going high at 54.86%. XRP slightly down at 1.37. Ethereum, since the last time we looked, was around 16.5% dominance. It's now at 15.8 and going down. I don't like Ethereum, and you know that. Tron dominance is going up at 0.49. Link dominance is 0.33. BCH dominance is around the same. And Solana dominance is going up, and it's around 3.4% at the moment. Now, Bitcoin at the moment is 67468. As you can see, it's up 3.99% for the day. It's outperforming Ethereum. I love it, Bitcoin. It's going to go higher and higher. I believe it can get to 130, 150 this year. If you look at a 30-day rate, it was at 10.3%. If you look at Ethereum, down it was negative 2.75. Okay, so basically, Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. It's just a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. That's why I prefer to hold Bitcoin than Ethereum, which has a lot of risk within Ethereum, okay? And it's extremely expensive. Binance today is looking okay at 2.18%. They did have a burn this week, which we'll cover. Solana is doing extremely well, up 6.31% for 24 hours. For 30 days, it's up 34%, right? And that's the difference. We're in Solana and we're in Bitcoin. Imagine being in Ethereum, which is down 2.76%. So these returns are very important, and we want to be in coins with our limited cash that are going to actually perform, okay? And we're in Solana. XRP has done well and up 27% for 30 days. But again, it's still under my levels, right? I can't buy XRP until it's over 74 cents. My trading bots say the same thing. We got short at 74 cents and it's still under 60 cents. And today it's down 3.84%. Dodge is up 5.6 at 0.13. ADA hasn't been doing very well. It's up 4.73% at 0.41. Tron's done well at 0.3178. Done very well, up 10% or so. And my phone, bear with me for a minute. God, your phone always goes. Oh, no, it's something else. Sorry about that. I thought I can hear an alarm somewhere. Anyway, Tron's at 0.317, has done fairly well. AVAX 28.56. DOT still very cheap at 5.84. Link very cheap at 13.54. BCH very cheap at 3.75. It's up 5.45% this week. And Pepe, I'm still very bullish. Pepe at up 1.18% for the week. It's my favorite meme. Fetch has done very well, up 5.22%, but I'm expecting it to go much higher. So overall, I'm very, very bullish this cryptocurrency market. So let me just put on the video that I've created and we'll have a chat about what's going on at the moment. Lots are going on in this market. And as you can appreciate, there's so much information. I'm only focusing on the main stories that on the main stories that we invest in terms of our cryptocurrency portfolios, okay, particularly number 7 that we have, okay, which we're basically 100% invested. So I'm pretty happy with the way we're set up. So bear with me for a minute and I'll just go to the video that I've actually made and I hope you like it. So today we had some important information out from the US. Price indices for year on year were at 2.5%. They're forecasting 2.4%, okay? And this is what to be expected. Core was slightly up, but I think people will be pretty happy with that given the Fed does look at this, US PCE, and the market's still basically pricing in another 2 rate cuts, which is going to be very bullish for cryptocurrency, okay? So when I looked at crypto compare today for the 24 hours, it was actually at 67,000 odd. many people are saying that Bitcoin is a buy and by the end of the year can reach 130,000. And I do believe that. You've got Standard Chartered who said also it could easily reach 130,000. Some of the analysts out there are very, very, very bullish, Bitcoin particularly, and they look at a hash ribbon indicator, right? And a lot of the miners for Bitcoin are actually, they've been selling in the past and now they're starting to hold their Bitcoin, okay, which means there's not a lot of Bitcoin coming to the market, right? And most people that are buying Bitcoin are still holding. So I think Bitcoin, in my mind, could easily get through 75,000 and go higher. Another analyst, James Van Straten, said the same thing. Miners' revenue is being down, but they're also starting to hold their crypto, right? And on-chain metrics are showing that people, are just holding Bitcoin and they're not releasing, which makes sense. Even though Mt. Gox was out there the other day selling Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, they've all come back fairly quickly, so I'm pretty happy about that. Mamara announced purchasing 100 million of Bitcoin. This is a corporate treasury, like a MicroStrategy corporate treasury, like Michael Saylor, and they're all using their cash to buy Bitcoin. They actually bought 100 million of Bitcoin. Now, this is not the first time that Mara has been in the market buying Bitcoin, but we're starting to see it right across the board. Big corporate treasuries that hold cash in terms of their treasury portfolio, they've decided to buy Bitcoin because they're going to get more opportunity and more return with Bitcoin than just investing in interest rate product, right? And that makes a lot of sense to me, right? And I think there will be no supply of Bitcoin coming forward, and it's just a question. Fred Thiel, the chairman and executive of Mara, said that he thinks Bitcoin is the best thing to invest in. It's a reserve currency, and basically it's the best treasury asset. Now, also there's some view out there that Mr. Trump, if he gets in to be president, is going to also use Bitcoin for reserve currency, and the treasury holdings of cash could be turned into Bitcoin. Now, as I said a couple of weeks ago, Bitcoin got down to 53.5, 55.5, 53,900. That was a buy. It traded exactly the way I thought it would, and now it's going to go higher. And anyone shorting Bitcoin has got to be crazy. There is no Bitcoin left, and now we've got treasuries, corporate treasuries globally buying Bitcoin, okay? And honestly, it's just going to go higher and higher as far as I'm concerned. Also, there's a lot of corporate treasuries out there starting to buy Solana. Also, we see Raoul Paul, and you'll see a little story about that, has decided to put all these assets, 90% of his digital assets, into Solana, which doesn't surprise. Now, we have seen a bull market since, unfortunately, the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. And now we know that Donald Trump is going to go to the Bitcoin conference as well. Apparently, Kamala Harris for the Democrats is not going to go, but Mr. Trump is. And, there's about 50 million investors in the US that invest in Bitcoin and other alts, right? And potentially they could all vote for Mr. Trump, whether they like his politics or not, because it's going to be very bullish for cryptocurrency. Mr. Trump wants to deregulate cryptocurrency, and I think that's going to be a great story in itself, right? So we do find that many people are starting to buy Bitcoin, not just the big fund managers, but corporate treasuries that are in other types of asset classes, okay? So this is a pretty good story. So let's run through this. What else we got here? Sometimes I do an adjustment here and I pick up the wrong one, which is very, very annoying. But look, I think Bitcoin can get easily to 125, 130,000 by the end of the year. Everything's working in terms of its favor. No supply, more people coming to the market, more corporates buying. And, again, interest rates are probably going to be cut twice, right? Now, even Jersey City Mayor Stephen Funplat plans to invest in a pension fund in Bitcoin ETFs. So we've got, cities, basically councils investing in crypto, and they're going to allocate 2% of their pension funds to crypto, which could be a lot of money when we talk about crypto for Bitcoin. So we're even getting the local councils in Bitcoin, okay, and investing the city's pension in Bitcoin ETFs, which is a great story, okay, in itself. We're getting more and more people buying Bitcoin all the time, right? And that's what we're going to see. He believes that the potential of blockchain is quite incredible, and the rate of return is going to be higher and above other asset classes and I agree with this guy, right? He didn't actually say how much he was going to buy Bitcoin ETFs. Many people are saying potentially for this fund, the Wisconsin pension fund, maybe about 2%, but he is incredibly bullish Bitcoin. I think he's doing the right thing, okay? Investing in Bitcoin. No other asset class is going to outperform Bitcoin. So the Jersey City Pension Fund is in the process of updating paperwork to the SEC to allocate a certain percentage to Bitcoin and to state of Wisconsin's, okay? And I think that's a great story for Bitcoin, right? Because if they buy ETFs through on the exchange with BlackRock or Fidelity, they're going to buy more and more. And apparently this is going to amount to about 164 million of Bitcoin they could potentially buy. And they have to get approval from the SEC to do that. And I think they will, given that they want to increase their returns for their pension funds. And a lot of pension funds suffer with this. They don't get the returns they need. And I think more and more pension funds will go into crypto because they have a lot of unfunded liabilities, pension fund liabilities that to pay, and they're going to go more into cryptocurrency. And we're seeing banks, big banks are always against cryptocurrency, go into cryptocurrency now as well. They've all fallen on their sword and they're all buying. Now, Binance this week did complete a burn, and that's going to be very supportive of Binance coin. I love Binance. They burn every quarter out of their returns, but they also out of their profits, but they also burn on a daily basis. And I think Binance, we've seen Binance at a high of about $730, and it's still underpriced. Okay, this was their 28th quarterly token burn for Binance Smart Chain, and it was about 1.6 million Binance, worth 971 million, right? Now, as they burn, there's a less supply of Binance, and therefore it's going to be very supportive for Binance coins. Total supply of Binance is 145 million. CZ years ago said they wanted to get that down to 100 million, okay? And it's not surprising to me that Binance will outperform. It's still very cheap at $580, and they need to continue to burn to get it down to 100 million, okay? And there we go. Their goal is circulating supply of 100 million. And they mentioned that years ago, and they will still continue with that, even though CZ has given up the CEO mantle to another fellow, okay? But it's going to be very good for Binance. We do see with the Trump scenario that trading volume on Binance is higher than anything, right? They do have an auto burn, which is anything that's done during the day, and they have this quarterly burn as well. So I think it's a great story. Binance is the biggest exchange in the world, and they're going to continue to consolidate their position as the biggest exchange in the world. Now, interestingly enough, they have delisted a few coins and tokens, but OKX is out there, and they're potentially delisting, which I thought was interesting. XRP and a few others, which I'll mention later on, okay? There are a lot of interesting things going on at the moment, but again, Binance is the largest exchange, and I'm very comfortable if I hold any crypto on Binance. I'm quite happy with it because they are the largest exchange, right? That's a fact, right? So we have seen a lot of volatility in markets, but with burning crypto, it can only be good for crypto because it reduces total supply and circulating supply. And we'll see that every quarter. And as Binance becomes more and more profitable, they will burn more and more, okay? Binance at the moment, I think, should be higher than Ethereum of 3,200. Binance is a mega node. It's so much more. It earns a lot of money, right, for its client base. It's got a client base of something like 200 million now. Compare that to Coinbase with a client base of 45 million, Bybit 32 million, OKX about 75 million. Binance is a killer, okay? It's an absolute killer. So it's a great story for Binance, right? And they're doing the right thing. Also, Spot ETF was launched this week for Ethereum. Ethereum is not getting the volume that Bitcoin is getting, okay? It's been really bad. Maximum we're only seeing about, 100 million in Ethereum. But, we've seen big days where so much buying has been done on the New York Stock Exchange, right? With Bitcoin, just BlackRock themselves have basically, had about, let me just put a stop to this. They basically had about 600 million coming in one day, and they have to buy crypto Bitcoin for that, physical Bitcoin, okay? Now, there's a report out there, according to a report by the Nikkei, SBI Holdings will establish a joint venture with Franklin Templeton, a prominent US investment management company, by the end of the year. Now, as you know, SBI is a big supporter of XRP. So this is going to be interesting. There's been some talk that there's going to be an XRP ETF, and there's also Solana is going to be coming out with an ETF, and that will be from the Chicago Board of Exchange. Okay, so any ETF is going to push the price up of a coin, and that's why it's very important for us to watch ETFs. Now, as I said, if you look in our platform and we defined ETFs, what they are, exchange-traded products, exchange-traded funds, and they're listed on the stock exchange, just like you can buy a share, right? But every time someone buys a share of an ETF on the stock exchange, the provider of that ETF, whether it be BlackRock or, Franklin Templeton or Fidelity, they have to buy physical Bitcoin or physical Ethereum, okay? So this, I think this is very interesting, this partnership with Franklin Templeton, the US investment management company, and SBI Holdings, which is, pretty much a conglomerate bank in Japan, okay? And they've been a big supporter of XRP. They actually pay their clients in XRP and give them bonuses in XRP, which I think is interesting. But again, they've got this partnership going, which is going to probably increase the probability of more trading in XRP, I should imagine. They're talking about spot Bitcoin, but they also want to create a spot XRP exchange for ETFs, okay? And actually get the Japanese investment money and also get more people investing in XRP ETFs on the US stock exchange. I think this is going to be very interesting. Apparently, there's potential tax advantages with Japanese investors and also with the US side of things. So this is going to be quite interesting. I'll keep an eye on this, because if this comes through, particularly with an XRP ETF and the SEC has finished and they've paid their debts, maybe we'll get a bit of a bull market in XRP. So I'm keeping a very close eye on XRP, people. That's for sure. I don't think an XRP ETF will come not very soon. I think it'll probably take a little bit, like 6 months or something. The SEC has to be, finished with this whole, suing at XRP and everything else, okay? And obviously they're going to, SBI is a big supporter of Ripple and Ripple's payment system. They're significant supporters of XRP. They understand that it's a cost-effective and international transaction technology mechanism. They're doing a lot in Asia. And many of the banks in Japan, 80% of the banks in Japan use XRP's leverage, okay? And they use their technology. So this Yoshita Kito, he loves XRP. He said XRP is a coin. I think it would be a very expensive price one day. They're actually calling their own book because they're invested in XRP, okay? So again, we will keep a very close eye on XRP, but I can't buy any more of it. We have 5,000 in our investment portfolio number 7, and we're essentially just going to wait because don't forget, if we have 100,000 which we're invested in, we have to reallocate out of something else that's going to do worse than XRP. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hard one. So currently XRP is about 61,000. Now, also 61 cents. Also, Binance did something with Render, a token swap, and rebranded it to Render. Now, Render is a part of the AI fund for Glassdoor, for what's the other company called? It'll come back to me. But, don't forget, it's a big AI fund. Grayscale have created a big AI fund, and they're buying AI coins, and one of them is Render. I do like Render. I haven't had a good look at Render in terms of looking at the analysis of Render, but I like what I see in terms of Render. It is an AI. I'm just, it has gone up a lot. A couple of my clients are in Render. I like it very much in here, but I really need to have a look at the actual fundamentals of those. Where in other AIs like Fetch, Conflicts, which are all cheap AIs, and I think we're going to get some big performance out of those, okay? So Binance basically, has told users about Render. There's a lot of things going on, particularly with Render, because of the Grayscale fund that they've just set up, and a lot going on with the different exchanges, which we need to find out what's happening there. And what else we got? Oh, we've got that. Sorry, God, I don't understand why sometimes I put the things on twice. It's very annoying. Now, OKEx actually is one of the second largest exchanges in the world. Interesting enough, is delisting several coins. And I thought this was quite surprising because they're removing Cardano, Shiba, and XRP. And they haven't actually said why they're removing those coins off their exchange. And it's significant because, again, OKEX is the second largest exchange in the world. They said this is a part of their regular review process. They said the pairs failed to meet listing criteria, and they haven't been very specific about that. But, any delisting, and they said these delistings start on July the 25th right through to August, they've told clients to get rid of their orders and everything else. But, XRP, which is one of the biggest trading coins out there, SHIB, I can understand Cardano, but it's really surprising that they're getting rid of XRP and they didn't basically say anything about it. Very, very interesting. Now, as I said, Pepe is one of my favorite memes. If you don't have a lot of money and you can take the risk, buy Pepe, because I do believe Pepe will perform very well in this huge cryptocurrency rally we're going to get. I am mega, mega bullish. This market, guys and girls, is playing out exactly how I thought it would play out. Now, Pepe, as you know, used to be 5 digits or 6 digits. Now it's come back to 5 digits. I believe it'll go to 1. And I think any weakness in this one, I'm a buyer. I did get my high net worth clients the other day to buy Pepe, and they're on that bandwagon and they've made a lot of money. But I think there's a lot of people out there that don't have much money, and Pepe is the one that's captured people's imagination, okay? And as I said, in the past week or so, there was a very large client that bought Pepe Memi. It's called Nansent. And I think they were from, a VC firm called Nansent. And when you've got venture capital firms buying memes, you got to wake up, okay? Because they bought billions of them, right? And if they're buying billions of Pepe, they must know something, right? And Pepe has already had an incredibly impressive performance, but I think it can go all the way, okay? Already it's up more than 70%, but year to date it's up 843%. And that's massive, right? So I just want people to be on that. Also, there was something about IOTX. I'm still very, very bullish IOTX. I think it's one of the best AI coins out there. It's still very, very, very cheap. It's with DeepIn and all sorts of things. It's got a great story. DeepIn, as you know, is decentralized physical infrastructure network. And, they're basically up there with AI technology, with decentralized infrastructure. Now, this coin has come down a little bit in terms of price, but, anywhere around 5 cents, this coin is a joke, right? What they're doing is incredible. It has a significant position, and it's a great story for AI, right? And there's a couple of other altcoins we're seeing that are coming in for pre-sale and that sort of thing. But, the market pretty much is about politics at the moment, and altcoins and lots of other things. But also I want to mention Tron. Tron's done incredibly well. Again, they've got 200 million clients. They're making about $5 million a day, and it's still very cheap. Again, they're proof of stake, and their ecosystem is thriving, people, seriously. Their transaction volume is going through the roof. They're doing more transaction volume than anyone. Many analysts are saying Tron should be at 30 cents. I believe it should be at $1.25 like VeChain. It's got many, many different apps. It's getting more and more developers and more people supporting their technology, and I think it's a great story, okay? And there's this moon thing going on as well. What else we got here? I never know what I put on here. Oh, yeah, Paul Rao came out. He was holding Bitcoin and everything else, and the guys decided 90% of his portfolio he's going to put into Solana. Now, I never suggest that to anyone, to put all your eggs in one basket, because if something happens, you've got an exposure to one cryptocurrency. We do it on a portfolio basis, and that's a better professional story. Certainly, this guy can afford to lose, so he can afford to do that, okay? But also thinking about other great blue chip cryptocurrencies. Chainlink is so cheap, people. It's a joke. It's showing a very, very bullish signal to buy. It is so cheap for what it is earning in terms of network fees, right? They're earning millions and millions and millions of dollars in network fees, okay? It looks like a big buy to me. If you've got money, I'd be buying VeChain, Chainlink, Pepe, a little bit of DOT, Bitcoin, seriously. It's proof of reserves. It's price incredible pricing oracle. It's getting more and more clients, and it's just unbelievable. More and more adoption is in Asia, and Latin America. It's just a matter of time, right? Chainlink is an incredible story, and it's still very, very cheap. And we've seen nothing with this crypto market at the moment, nothing. As I said, the risk is to sell too early. And when Bitcoin gets through 100,000, yes, I'll sell it at 100,000. It's going to go off to the races. Anyway, guys and girls, that's all I want to say today. If you have any questions, please do come back to me. I've just been extremely busy. I'm working on a lot of stuff this month. You'll see a lot of good stuff come from me. I'm going to be working on the weekend because I've been so tied up this week traveling. But keep an eye on the on our platform, because I'll be posting a lot of good stuff on that. Okay, and there's always so much going on, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens going forward. I can't wait to see the market every day. Anyway, I hope you're all well. Please look after yourself, your dogs, your animals, your beautiful kids, your partners, whatever, and your family. And I'll talk to you very soon. And thank you so much for your patience. I just get so busy sometimes. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Excuse me.